Yes, everyone, I'm Delu and I'm back with another video. Before we start, if you do like the video, please go ahead and feel free to, like, subscribe, share, comment, etc. You know what to do. And just so I am also active on Twitch, so please feel free to act there. But yeah, and of course today we're going to be talking about gameplay. And of course, I wouldn't be career mode merchant if we were not relating the gameplay to any aspect of career mode. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is this new playstyles thing. So of course this playstyles thing is, it's quite interesting. I see it as like a PhD traits at the end of the day, because traits have always kind of been a mess. Because they first came to game FIFA 7, as you can see Joe Cole here, and it's just an example of them. Traits of Chelsea, back in the day you had to buy them for players. Like obviously some players were signed with them naturally, but you could buy them in career mode. So obviously as the years went on they changed this and that, whatever, cool. But they've never been uniform. Like there are always these random traits, like stuff like fights, the media, determination, all these random ones aren't listed in a database. So traits have always been kind of a mess. So I hope going forward these playstyles are actually all uniform and regulated kind of thing, and that's what it looks to be. However, having said this, it does look like they're going to be very overpowered, especially with Playstyles Plus. That looks like it's going to be very, guys scoring goals from, well, guys and girls, so people scoring goals from like freaking 50 yards, which is just going to be infuriating. It's not realistic. You know me in realism, it's just not realistic. So that should be quite interesting. I don't know, they haven't actually said if they're replacing traits or they're going to be alongside traits. It makes sense for them to replace traits. It's about time, man. Traits have had their time. They don't do enough, they're not impactful enough. So it'd be interesting to see how these playstyles play. But no, playstyles does look interesting, and they're bigging it up as a big feature. So yeah, very much looking forward to see how they play, But yeah, that should be interesting. And just a side note, again, for you people that play, game modes that are not solo game modes, for example, your career modes, etc., the playstyles for goalkeepers will not be there. So goalkeepers would be quite generic, which is kind of sad, because it's always nice to have those keepers with personality, your Neuers and your Edisons, your keepers, your sweeper keepers that can play well with the ball with their feet. Even though Nanas, man, yeah. But yeah, no, it's nice to have keepers with personality, so that won't really be as much of a thing in career mode. But it is what it is, and I do think as years to come, they will bring these players. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this comes in, of course. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is, it's like a more of a personal one, is competitive mod switch. They are making some changes to this, so that should be interesting for me. The reason I say this is because I am not the best FIFA player. As people know, people that know me in real life, I'm alright, I'm decent, but I care about career mode, as opposed to freaking beating people and smacking people. No, I care about the career mode itself and just the features and stuff. So for me, I play for fun when I'm playing the matches. So I play in World Class, but I call it PhD World Class. It's not regular World Class because I play something called competitive mod switch, which basically makes it like as if I'm playing online in terms of the settings. So it makes defending harder, attacking harder, defending harder, etc. So it just makes World Class harder and also play-based difficulty. So I call it PhD World Class. And for those of you that don't know what a PhD is, it's basically the highest qualification you can get. It's higher than a degree. It is a kind of degree, but it's like the top degree. It's higher than A levels, GCSEs in America. I don't know, your degrees, SATs, if you're from other places running. It's basically the top thing you can get in education, pretty much. So yeah, that's why I call it PhD World Class. Because there's a joke here in the UK, BTEC, which is like a worse version of your qualification you get at the age of 16. So yeah, I call it the advanced version of World Class. But yes, so yeah, enough about that. Or BTEC Legendary, whatever you want to say, the worst version of Legendary. Whatever. Now, next thing I'm going to be talking about is rules. So if you look at referee strictness, this one's interesting because people have been saying there's going to be, not VAR, because I think that's very, very unnecessary. It's VAR in career mode. I don't think it's necessary. However, I can see how it would make some difference. I don't think it's necessary because a lot of people said this, and it's true. It's computerized at the end of the day. So the computer CPU can't really get offsides wrong. But apparently now with referees, there'll be some differences in how they will actually decide on these things. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll actually call offsides wrong. Ones that aren't offside, etc. Ones that are offside, call them as, you know what I'm trying to say. And apparently they're going to be doing some new animations in terms of when they're showing and reviewing the offside. So that should be very interesting. Next thing, this one is a very good one for me because everyone that knows me, I am a generated players merchant. As much as I am a career mode merchant, I am a generated players merchant. So what I'm saying here is, apparently some new random avatar runs for the for players. I think this was more for the lady side of things, which is of course nice for them, but I think this would also help if it's in career mode and they've put in some new running styles for career mode players, for generated players especially. Because generated players, a lot of them tend to have no personality. They're just dry, all run with the generic default running style. It'd be nice to see some new ones where guys running with his arms in the air, or He runs, you know, your Sterlings, Haalands, these types of kind of individual running styles. It'd be nice to see more of those generated players. So it's either they should assign more to them or introduce some new ones. That would be very, very nice. So yeah, you know, and of course, you know, player humanization will definitely help bring these generated players to life. That's definitely good, will help. And also CPU AI will also, with play styles, will hopefully make generated players stand out even more. So all those things together, I think, should help, you know, generated players be better. So this is, I think, definitely a good thing going forward if they apply this to career mode and generated players. That's what we have to hope. You know, so I am definitely, you know, got my fingers crossed for that. Got my fingers crossed for that. And next thing I'm going to be looking at is the deep match analysis and just some factors here. So with all this deep match analysis, because I don't really care about all these statistics on the field, I don't care about that nonsense. What is that? Cool, it's nice, but whatever. Bigger things to deal with. So with all this, where is database history stat tracking? You guys are probably going to get sick of me on the channel talking about database history stat tracking, but where is it? Well, you can do all these in-depth things that aren't, they're there, whatever, but you can't do database history stat tracking. No! Sick and freaking tired of this. But then, you know, the final one, pretty much the one we're going to talk about, is this is one that was in FIFA. This is in FIFA 04. So when the game comes out, it's going to be 20 years old, for crying out loud. Practice mode, the practice arena mode, whatever you want to call it. They first introduced this FIFA 04, which was the first career mode ever, by the way. FIFA 04 had practice mode, practice matches. You could even set the stadium. You could make it so, you know, where you play in different types of fields. I think there were only 2 options, but you had options. It was in like a field or a park, whatever. And it was funny because when you were playing the match, you could actually hear birds in the background. It was very, very realistic. It was, you know, no crowd, nothing. It was very good. It actually did simulate, you know, kick about in the park. So that was a very good feature. As years went along, they changed. I think they took it out for when we moved to the 7th generation consoles, so Xbox 360, PS4. So when we got to like FIFA 7, more 8s. So 08 and 9 wasn't there. Then they brought back the practice mode matches, whatever, for FIFA 10 and onwards. Then took it out again when we got to 8th generation consoles for FIFA 14 onwards. So, or FIFA 15 onwards. So yeah, obviously, you know, the arena's been there, still is there now, but the arena's basically ceased to exist. Came in FIFA 07, ceased to exist really when we got to the 8th generation PS4s, you know, Xbox Ones kind of thing. You know, what throwback this was, for a flashback. For you guys that are a bit older, for you people that are a bit older, you remember this. Even some of the youngsters will remember this, but yeah, what a time to be alive that was. But yeah, no, this will only be relevant and will only get me happy, excited, hyped, gassed, etc. if it is in career mode, because I've been wanting this career mode for years. Imagine, you can just kick about. If you just want to chill, I just want to have a casual kick about. I don't want to have to play a friendly or a match. You can just click in, have a little practice match. 1v1, or you want to do 1v1 with 2 best players, go ahead. If you want to just do an 11v11 casual, cool. If you want to see who's good, go ahead. It's just scenario mode. I think it's going to be sick. So yeah, if they put this in career mode, it's a side game changer. Subtle game changer. I think it will be a very, very underrated feature that will make a big difference. And this is kind of like, this is something they haven't really picked up, but it's kind of like a spoiler or a leak. You know, I don't like that whole leak. Human people do leaks, but it's kind of, it's not a leak because it's there. They said it, but this is kind of confirmed now. Training will have skill games. I don't know what else training will have, but skill games will definitely be a part of this new training system they're talking about. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. And obviously, skill games have been since FIFA 13. So yes, that will be very interesting. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. And yeah, that should be everything on the Game Pass side. The rest of stuff is just irrelevant, hypermotion. Yeah, this isn't that cool. It's nice, but yeah, we'll see when the game comes out. Okay, I'm not someone that's complaining. All these complaints are like, oh, esports is going to be crap. Shut up and get over it. I don't buy the game, stop complaining. I get it, don't get me wrong, but it's frustrating. People just complaining 24/7. Be grateful. I'm happy. I think, you know, it's happy. I'm happy that they're making moves. And at the end of the day, whatever they put, I'll be happy. You know, of course, I do want some more things. We all do. But come on, let's just be happy. But yeah, that should be everything. So thank you so much, everyone that's still here. You know, I love you all. And yeah, that should be it. So yes, of course, just so you know, by the way, I am active on Twitch, so feel free to out there. As I said, link is in the description. And yeah, if you did like this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, etc. And yes, nonetheless, I'm Daily, and thank you for watching.